Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Blues Solos with Comping. In these exercises we go back and forth between lead guitar and rhythm guitar within the context of a 12-bar blues. First, I'll perform blues solo with comping in the key of G number 4, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to break down blues solo with comping in the key of G number 4. We have a 12-bar blues that I've divided into 3 4-bar phrases. Each 4-bar phrase will have 2 lead guitar licks. Each lead guitar lick will be followed by a rhythm guitar part. This is otherwise known as the comping pattern. So we're going to go back and forth between lead guitar and comping. We will be using the minor pentatonic scale at the 3rd fret primarily. So this will be the G minor pentatonic. Let's look at that pattern. We will also be using a little bit of 2 other patterns. The next pattern that we'll look at is the G minor pentatonic located around the 6th fret. Also, we'll be using a bit of the G minor pentatonic found around the 8th to 10th fret. Let's go ahead with phrase 1. In phrase 1, our first lick sounds like this. So we have a whole step bend. Then we follow that with 3rd fret on the B string and the E string. Then we have a whole step bend here on the B string at the 6th fret. And a very slow bend coming out on the root here on the high E string. Then we're into our accompaniment pattern or our comping pattern. We'll start this with a G power chord or G5. Then we're going to go to a very brief C chord. This is a C triad. This just serves to embellish the G tonality. It's really just movement in and out of the G to give it a little flavor. Then we're going to go to an abbreviated G7th chord here, and we'll be hammering on this little trill. On to our next lick. So now we're going to shift patterns up to here. So that's our next G minor pentatonic pattern over. We're just going to be in the top part of the pattern. So we have 6th fret, 8th fret on the B string, and then we'll follow that with right back to the comping pattern. At the beginning of the 2nd phrase, we're going to be changing position. I'm going to be playing the root here and the minor 3rd here. Now, I could have played those same notes, G and B flat, over here on the high E string, but the tension is much less on the B string, so that's the reason for our change of pattern. I'm going to be doing a sequence of bends. Now these bends are approximate, but I'm going to start with a pickup into the phrase. That's the root G. Then the first note at the 11th fret, that's B flat, isn't bent. And then the first bend is approximately a half, and then approximately a whole, and then about a step and a half, and then about 3/4, ending on the root. I'm going to follow that with my comping pattern for C. This is the same pattern we did for G, except now I'll be at the 8th fret. So this is a C5, followed by an F triad, and then an abbreviated C7th chord. I'm going to do a little hammer-on trill. Now I'm going to travel back down to the 3rd fret, and this is the lick. So we have a whole step bend, 3rd fret on both the B string and the high E string, then a slide from the 6th fret to the 8th fret on the B string, and then another attack there. Back to our G comping pattern. Here we go with the last phrase. So this lick starts out with a whole bend. Then we have 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 6th fret on the B, 5th fret on the G. Then we end the lick on a D note. That's because we're on a D chord here. So that's our 5 chord. And as usual in a 12-bar blues at this point, the 5 chord goes down to the 4 chord, and we'll be playing that at the 8th fret, and we'll be doing that same comping pattern that we did before. It sounds like this. So we have that power chord, little F triad, the abbreviated C7th with the trill. Immediately we'll go back down to the 3rd fret to play another lick. And this lick leads into our G7th chord. So we have 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret. There's the G at the 5th fret, back to G on the 3rd fret here. So that marks our arrival back at our G chord. And instead of playing a chord here, we'll go right into a single note type turnaround, and the lick sounds like this. So we'll start out with a whole step bend. Then we have another whole step bend here. We're going to come right down the minor pentatonic scale, ending on the note D. And that's sort of implying that we've returned to a D7th chord at the end of that bar. And then we're going to go up to the 10th fret to end our solo on a G9th chord. So we have root, 3rd, flatted 7, 9th, 5th on top if you want to play that. Well, that's it for blues solo with comping in the key of G number 4. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.